So thank you everyone for joining in today. I'm Dr. Ruhi Agarwala, co-founder Hormone Reset. And thank you for sharing in the chat what brings you to this workshop and answering to my questions. And if you could connect with them. The questions that I've asked you, these unfortunately are some very common experiences among people today. Many of you may be diagnosed with an autoimmune condition like rheumatoid or fibromyalgia or Hashimoto, lupus, psoriasis, while some of you may not even have a diagnosis. You're still looking for an answer that what is really wrong with you, right? Um, and even for some of you who already have a diagnosis, you may still be confused. If whatever you're doing right now, whether whatever treatment you're taking on, it's probably not working. And if this is what your life is like now, right? So today's workshop is all about empowering each one of you about what's really causing autoimmunity. There are lots of myths around autoimmunity, like once you have an autoimmunity, you just have to live with it. You don't have to start your treatment right away. You can still wait for some time and then start your treatment. Um, if you have one autoimmune condition, you cannot have another autoimmune condition. So a lot of these myths are around autoimmunity. And we will be breaking some very common myths today, and then helping you understand what is causing autoimmunity in the body. It just did not come overnight. Various things have contributed to autoimmunity. If you understand what are those contributing factors, you can then take steps to correct it. Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark without any results. So if you understand what are the root causes which is contributing to autoimmunity in your body, you can take corrective measures towards it and start going into remission. And we will talk about some proven ways of making autoimmunity reversible, helping people go into remission. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. All right. So I asked all of you, your diagnosis and if you're experiencing certain symptoms. Now, if you are struggling with at least 5 of these symptoms that you see on the screen right now, you do not have a formal diagnosis of any health problem. You do not, your tests have been pretty much normal or so-called normal, and you have not been able to, your doctor has not been able to give you a diagnosis. But if you are experiencing at least 5 of these signs and symptoms, it's a clear indication that things are not going okay in your body. You need to take actions to correct it. Your body is just shouting and telling you that please do something. If you're constantly feeling fatigued, it's an indication of poor mitochondrial function. If you're not able to think, you just feel that you used to be so smart, you used to remember things so easily, and now you're just not able to think properly. You feel there is a brain fog. It's a clear indication of infections in the body. Your gut health has gone for a toss. If you're not able to sleep well, if your gut health is not good, you're constipated, you're not able to digest food, uh, you're constantly feeling like a headache, all these are signs and symptoms of various things not okay in the body. So again, I'm saying you may not have a formal diagnosis, but the signs and symptoms are good enough indication that things are not okay. So in today's workshop, we'll talk about all chronic conditions, and largely the focus will be on the autoimmune condition. So I already introduced myself. I'm Dr. Ruhi Agarwala. I am trained in conventional medicine. I did my MBBS, and then I realized I didn't want to continue my career in it. I wanted to do more on the preventive side of health. And so I did my master's in global health. And came across functional medicine, which gave me the tools to really make a significant impact in the patients that I was dealing with. And that's how I, kind of started working. I got myself trained in functional medicine and then started practicing functional medicine. I'm also the co-founder of Indian Association of Functional Medicine, which is the society for functional medicine and other holistic practitioners in India. And I'll talk more about, autoimmunity and other things. Let me introduce you to Mr. Siddarth Goel, co-founder, Hormone Reset. Siddarth, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi, for the introduction to the webinar and to the topic to me. Good evening and namaste to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I won't spend much time on introducing myself. I am a health coach. I am a functional medicine expert. I'm also an aspiring yogi, and I started my professional life in the corporate world. But after spending approximately 10 years there, I decided this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And now for the last close to 10 years, I've been in this industry of health and well-being. I've had the good fortune of helping, I don't know, maybe a couple of thousand people by now reverse chronic health issues and find, rediscover their health and vibrance and joy and live a fulfilling, complete life. So with that, let's dive into today's topic, which is the functional medicine approach for reversing autoimmune disorders. Okay. So, Dr. Ruhi spoke about a couple of myths. There are a couple of them here. The most common ones are here on your screen, and the most important ones also. How many of you have been told by your practitioners or even other people around you, friends, family, well-wishers, neighbors, that autoimmune disorders are genetic diseases? You can reply with a me in the chat. Okay. I see quite a few of you saying me. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you for replying. So let me tell you that this is not true. Autoimmune disorders are not genetic diseases. Okay. I will obviously go into more detail of what type of disease they are, what are the reasons behind autoimmunity developing in somebody's body, right? But at this point, just let me say this very emphatically, that autoimmune disorders are not genetic diseases. Okay. And another very common myth is you will have this disease forever. There's nothing you can do but manage the symptoms with expensive and powerful medicines, which obviously also have side effects, right? So once again, how many of you have been told this by different people? You can reply with a me or a one in the chat. Okay. So once again, a lot of people, right? And I'm sure there are many more who are not actively replying the question. Please make sure that everybody is muted because it otherwise disturbs everyone. So what is autoimmunity then, right? Conventional thought process of the allopathic system, let's say, is incurable genetic diseases, which require a lifetime of anti-inflammatory medicines, immunosuppressive medicines, hormones, steroids, etc. Yes? Whereas the real science, the functional medicine approach is telling us very clearly that there are factors. Nothing is happening without a reason. Okay, there are reasons. You can call them environmental factors if you want, like chronic stress, like too many viruses in the body, overgrowth of bacteria, fungus in the body. Even medicines, long-term medical medicine use can lead to development of autoimmunity, hormonal imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, toxins. All of these and other reasons can trigger autoimmune response in people who are genetically susceptible. So we are not saying that genetics is playing no role. Genetics is creating a predisposition, a higher likelihood. Okay, but genetics is not creating the disease. Please fix that in your mind. If you think of it as a gun, the autoimmune disease, then genes are only loading the bullet in the gun. Genes are not firing the gun. Pulling the trigger is your choice. Okay, is that clear to everyone? I would want to, be this to be an interactive session. Obviously, with 65, 70 of you, we can't ask you to unmute and speak because it'll become too chaotic. So please keep responding in the chat. Okay, very, very important. So somebody's replied to me in private chat saying never had genetic history in my family, but also still I'm RA positive. Rheumatoid arthritis is there. So, Mr. Goel, we will look at all the reasons why. Okay. Thank you for sharing this. Now, whatever, there are different autoimmune disorders on your screen. It could be skin problem, it could be asthma, it could be lupus, it could be MS, it could be, anything. Type 1 diabetes, Graves, rheumatoid arthritis. It doesn't matter what is the name of the disease. And so again, already some of you are asking in chat, I have this disease, is it reversible? Is it curable? So I'm trying to answer all of you, okay? The name of the disease or the diagnosis of the disease is only based upon which organ or which part of the body the disease is damaging, right? If damages your thyroid, we say you have thyroid problem. If so skin, then we say psoriasis or eczema, right? So like that, depending on which part of the body is damaged, there's a different name and a diagnosis. However, that is a tip of the iceberg. Only the tip is different. Inside, the big part of the iceberg, 80%, is the same. Okay. And where is the solution? The solution is by addressing the tip or addressing the 80%. Obviously, 80%, right? Which is the same for everybody. The same reasons are behind the disease. Okay. So if you address the reason, the disease will go. It doesn't matter what is the name of your disease. It doesn't matter at all which part of the body it is targeting or damaging. Is this clear to everyone? If it is clear, please respond with a 1 in the chat. Okay, Neeraj, Karuna, Kanika, Justin, Saranya, Sonia, thank you. Thank you for replying. Please remember these things, okay? These are very important concepts that you need to understand because if you don't understand this, you will always keep feeling helpless. Oh my God, I got this disease and now, there is no hope left for me. That kind of feeling will come. So what are the different reasons? We look at 10 root causes. The first is poor diet. And many of you might say, but I eat home food. Even home food can be poor in many different ways. Okay, so we'll look at that now. Home food is very high in refined carbohydrates and it is overloaded with different types of sugars. Not just white sugar, many other different forms of sugar. Okay. This is very, very bad for the body. It creates inflammation. Inflammation is the foundation of autoimmunity and many other chronic ailments. Gluten and dairy are also causing a problem in people who are susceptible. Okay. Somebody who doesn't have a problem, they can eat gluten and dairy. Maybe they will be okay. But somebody who has the predisposition, maybe a genetic predisposition, then if they eat gluten and dairy, they can end up with problems. Okay. Processed foods. So once again, major problem. It is generally empty of calories. It doesn't bring any nutrition to the body. I'm sorry, it is empty of nutrition. It is only full of empty calories, right? And empty calories are never, never good for you. Food high in seed oils and refined oils. Now, for 30 years or 40 years, FMCG companies have been advertising everywhere that fat is a reason for heart disease. So if you want to be safe, you have to use refined oil. This is not true. Actually, refined oil is the one that is harmful. Good quality, healthy fat is very essential. It is not harmful. It is essential. Okay. And in fact, these oils are creating a lot of damage to the body. And as a rule, we don't eat enough protein. Vegetarians are very poor in eating enough protein. And even non-vegetarian people, when we do their testing, we find they're low on protein. Why? Because digestive system is not working very well. It is not able to break down the protein and absorb it. If there is not enough protein, again, body will not function properly. And any which ways, we don't want to eat a lot of fruits or vegetables, right? So, I mean, I am living in Bangalore, which is part of southern India, and the major part of the diet is rice here. You look at an average person's plate when they're eating, it will be this much of white rice and this much of some sabzi, some vegetable, right? That is the opposite of how you should be eating. You should be eating this much of sabzi and this much of rice. And if you do that, half your ailments will go in 6 months, right? So we are creating disease by our choices. That's the message, right? That's what we started with. And you will see that reflecting in many, many places. And lack of structured drinking water. You may be drinking filtered water, which is important. Yes, no doubt about it, but that is not good enough. Okay. Now, the second thing is toxicity. You know, if today we can use one word to define or describe our society, that word probably will be toxic in every possible way, right? Now, toxins can come from outside the body or they can be produced inside the body. They can be produced inside the body by your own body or by the microbes, etc., that live in the body. And today, microbial toxins have become a very, very big problem. Okay. And most of us are taking a lot of drugs, a lot of medicines, which again may be needed at some point in life. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but we also have to remember that they are damaging. They are toxic at some level. They might save your life, but they're still toxic, right? And then our agriculture has become the highest source of toxicity. All the pesticides, the fertilizers, and all the chemicals that we are pouring into our fields, right? Air pollution, major problem. Outside pollution, anyways, is there in the air. There is no denying that, especially in big cities now. There is no trees left, nothing left, only pollution. But what we don't realize is that there's a huge source of pollution inside our homes, which becomes much worse because most people don't want to open their doors and windows. They want to turn on the AC and sit all the time, right? So indoor, what is the main source of pollution? It is your furniture. It uses a lot of chemicals which are volatile in nature. They keep outgassing all the time. Then asbestos, I'm sure all of you are aware of this. BPA used in plastics and phthalates also used in plastics to make them more flexible. What is the most common use of flexible plastics? It is it is a toys for children, right? So, and where do the toys go? Always in the mouth. So we are bringing toxicity to our children from the time they can't even walk. Then PCBs we are all aware of. PFC is used in non-stick. How many of you are still using non-stick cookware? Hmm? How many are using non-stick cookware? Richa is asking all are seed oils. Can you please give examples? Coconut oil is not a seed oil in that sense. Avocado oil is not a seed oil. Um, Ghee, good quality ghee is not a seed oil, right? And within seed oils also, there are some seed oils which are good, which are not very harmful. So those might be, or those are okay, depending on the health issue. Okay, so there are still quite a few people who are using, non-stick. This is highly toxic. This is actually poisonous. So please don't use them for reheating or anything. It doesn't matter. It may be more convenient, but convenience is killing us today. And I think I would say probably 99% of the people in this group would be using uh, toothpaste which has fluoride in it, and also SLS. Both are highly toxic in different ways to the body. And SLS also goes in your shampoos and other self-care products. So in every possible way, we are bringing toxins into the body, and then we, expect to have good health. One other very important source of toxicity is heavy metal toxicity. Okay. Example of heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium, aluminum, arsenic, etc. They have become highly concentrated in the environment today, and they can enter the body through any route, actually. They can enter the body through ingestion, inhalation, skin absorption, and the damage that they cause to the body is tremendous. Okay, unimaginable damage they cause to the body. How do they damage the body? They create a lot of inflammation in the system. Okay, always always they cause a lot of damage by creating inflammation. And remember, I said earlier, inflammation is the root cause of chronic health issues, including autoimmunity. Okay. And they damage your arteries. So heavy metals are actually playing a big role in the inflammation inside arteries, which finally leads to blockage. Cholesterol is not the problem. It's actually trying to help you, by the way. Okay. So what is then the problem? It is the heavy metals and other toxins which are damaging the, uh, the interior lining of the arteries, the endothelium, which then the cholesterol tries to come and repair it. When the damage goes on happening non-stop, then after a time, what will happen? Uh, the cholesterol layer will become too thick and the artery will get blocked. Cholesterol is not your enemy, it's actually trying to help you. But the problem is the damage goes on happening, the repair goes on happening. Okay. So when repair goes on happening, it will lead to a situation where you end up with this problem of blocked arteries. Okay. Now, another very, very important area where mercury, etc., damage the body is your nervous system cells. Okay. The microtubules inside the neurons. Neurons are the cells in the nervous system, right? I'm sure all of you know. And I would want to show you like a 30-second video. With the microscope, you can see how mercury is damaging the brain. Okay. I'll just share this and play the video. So basically what is happening here is these are parts of your neurons, and you can see that they are growing, they are expanding, and then they put a small mercury in this solution. And the moment the mercury is put, you see they start dying. The neurons start dying and shrinking backwards. Can you imagine the toxicity? And this is a very, very tiny amount of mercury they have put, not a huge amount, but it is still so toxic. They damage mitochondria. Mitochondria, we all know it is needed for energy production, but what we don't know is that mitochondria is essential for good immune function as well. So a lot of autoimmunity is actually because of mitochondrial dysfunction. And they can damage any issue, any tissue, any organ in the body. Okay, they can damage your pancreas, they can damage your kidney, they can damage your heart. People so this study was done on people who died because of heart attack and all. The amount of heavy metals that were found in the muscles of people who died because of heart attack was some 20,000 times more than people who never had a heart attack. 20,000 times more. So you can imagine toxicity of heavy metals is behind a lot of our health issues, including autoimmunity. Now, whoever comes to work with us, we test them for many things, including heavy metal toxins. Okay, everybody goes through these testing. There are many ways to do the test. You can do it with blood, you can do it with urine, you can do it with hair. Okay, there are other ways also. So this report that you're seeing in front of you is of a hair sample. This is not done in India. The sample has to be sent outside India. So you can see barium, aluminium, cadmium, and lead are very, very high for this person. So again, 80% of the people that we work with, we find they have high levels of toxicity. And 20%, 25% have extremely high levels. So Shubha is asking, what is the source for these heavy metals? Shubha, they're everywhere today. They're in the water, they're in the soil, they're in the air. Okay. Concentration can be little less or more, but our industrial activity has made the entire place toxic. Okay. So they're entering the body through food, through water, through air, everything. The next very important thing is chronic infections. See, infections means what? Bacteria, etc. anyways live in our body, right? Scientists are saying that 50% of our body weight is actually bacteria. If they become more than that, if they overgrow, or if the unfriendly species overgrow, they cause massive problems, right? So they can be in the form of parasites, worms, they could be fungal overgrowth, could be viral infections, overgrowth of virus in the body, could be Lyme disease, it could be Clostridia, it could be many more different types of infectious agents. Whenever infections overgrow, what will your immune system do? You can understand this even if you have not studied science, right? Immune system will try to protect you by fighting them, by trying to kill them, right? So if it is going to be in fighting mode all the time, what will happen? Immune system will become more aggressive all the time. When it stays like that for too long, the body loses control of it. Okay. When the body loses control of it, that immune system goes towards autoimmunity, towards damaging the body itself. So overgrowth of these organisms is the leading cause of autoimmunity. Now, very important but very little understood reason is poor liver health. So where do these microorganisms overgrow in the body? Generally, they start in the gut, in the intestines, right? There are many mechanisms the body has to keep their numbers under control, and the most important of those is bile. Bile is not just for digesting fat. It has a very important role of killing the bacteria and all. So it definitely helps to clear toxins, but it is a very powerful antimicrobial and antifungal. And if your liver is not working very well, which is again the case for majority of people, even if your liver numbers are within so-called range. And by the way, those ranges don't mean that you're healthy. Okay, that's a misunderstanding of the ranges. So even if they're within the range, but you have certain health issues, the liver is likely to be struggling. And if it is struggling, it is not producing the right amount of bile, which means the bacteria and fungus in the gut will overgrow. Okay. So liver health and liver function impacts literally everything in the body. There is no cell in your body which is not impacted by how your liver is functioning. That's how important it is. Anyways, I've been talking about gut health, but let's look at it a little more closely. Dysbiosis is microbes out of balance. They anyways live there, trillions of them. Okay. Their genes outnumber our genes 300 is to 1. Okay. That is how many of them are there. When they go out of balance, it's a massive problem for our body, right? And when they grow too much, that is an infection, right? I already spoke about that. Now, what is the most important method that the body has to keep these numbers under control? That method is stomach acid. Okay. And stomach acid must be strong and good. Otherwise, bacteria that enter the body through the food will not be killed and then they will overgrow in the intestines, in the stomach and intestines, which is a very, very big problem today. Okay. Now, how many of you have been told that you have high stomach acid? Vaishnavi has been told that she has high stomach acid, hyperacidity, right? And probably you have had to take antacids and all for that. Yes, Sonia, gastritis also. Simil, this is not about testing. Just based on your symptoms, doctors will tell you that. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Not too many are replying anyways in this group today. But everybody is feeling tired or sleepy already, or am I boring you so much? Sneh is asking, are gallstones a symptom of gut health? Definitely, they are a symptom of gut health, and it means your gut health is not good. And your liver health is also not good. And it also means other things like, for example, you might have too much of estrogen in the body compared to progesterone. Okay, it can indicate many things, and it will also create many problems downstream. And also, let me tell you, Sneh, that normally you're told that the only solution for gallstones is to remove the gallbladder. We have been able to dissolve gallbladder stones for people just like that. No surgery, nothing needed. Okay, so let's move on. So, about stomach acid, one very important thing is that it's very important to have high and strong stomach acid. Low stomach acid is a disaster. So, those of you who have been taking antacids and all, that's a disaster. Those of you who have heartburn, hyperacidity, acid reflux, and all, please understand that is not because there is too much acid. The problem is the valve between the esophagus and the stomach is not closing fully or properly, which is allowing the acid to come into the food pipe. And the food pipe has no protection from the acid, and therefore you feel the burning. The solution is not to take antacids. That's actually going to worsen your problems in the long run. You will pay a very heavy price. The solution is to again understand why the valve is not closing properly and work on those things. In fact, that reminds me, we worked with a girl in US who for many months had not even been able to lie down to sleep in the night. She would sit and sleep because the moment she lies down, the acid will start coming up. And in 3 months, she was back to normal. So when your stomach acid is low, digestive enzymes will also be low because stomach acid triggers the release of enzymes. And when both of these are low, will you digest your food properly? Anybody? Will you digest your food properly? No, exactly. And what will happen if the food is not digesting properly? One thing is your body will not get nutrition, proper nutrition, because your intestines will not absorb food unless it is fully digested, right? And undigested food will happen. What will happen? The bacteria that are there, the fungus that is there, it will eat that food and multiply, right? It is getting access to many times more food than it was supposed to. So it multiplies many times more also. Remember, I told you once these guys increase, immune system has to become aggressive and attack and try to kill them and keep them under control, leading towards autoimmunity in the long run. So you see, stomach is the central point for your health issues. Stomach in the sense digestive system, right? Chronic constipation, obviously, toxins will keep entering the body. They will not go out. Immune system will see the toxins and react, again, leading to autoimmunity. Leaky gut is a major issue. The mechanism that I am describing of overgrowth of bacteria and the immune system attacking them, it damages the lining of the intestine, which leads to leaky gut. Okay. Normal healthy gut means there is no gap between two intestinal cells. They're tight. But leaky gut means that the junction is damaged and now there is a gap. Through this gap, which you can see here on the screen, everything can leak and enter the blood circulation. All the bacteria, all the fungus, all the toxins they're producing, all the food which is not yet digested, partially or fully undigested food, right? So when this enters the body, your immune system thinks the body is under attack. All this is not supposed to enter, right? What will the immune system do when it thinks your body is under attack? It will go into aggressive mode, right? Isn't it? So 100%, this is what is happening for a lot of you. And somebody is asking me how to diagnose. Well, here are the symptoms. The interesting thing is leaky gut symptoms need not necessarily happen in the abdomen. It could be headache, migraines. It could be brain fog, poor concentration, poor focus, poor memory. It could be skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, acne, this, that, right? It could be very low energy, always tired. It could lead to depression, anxiety, mood swings, panic attacks. It could lead to weight gain. It could lead to sinus congestion, always dripping nose, pain in the body, in different parts, in the joints, in the muscles, right? Tight muscles, fibromyalgia, sores, racing of heart, palpitation, shortness of breath. And you may also have symptoms in the gut, pain, nausea, loose motion, diarrhea, whatever, right? How many of you have at least maybe two or three of these symptoms? If you have, you can reply with a one. Richa has most, Saranya, Karuna, Kanika, oh my God, everybody, most of them, all of them, more than five, eczema, three, one. Okay. Thank you for responding. So please see, your gut is damaged, right? So whatever I have been talking about the gut right now is probably applicable to you. Have you addressed this? Has your practitioner told you that you need to address this for your immune system to get back to normal? No, right? If you don't address the root causes, do you have a solution? You don't. Then the only option is to keep taking those medicines for the rest of your life, right? But that will only control it to an extent because the problem will go on increasing, the damage will go on increasing, right? And isn't that happening to most people? Maybe to yourself or even others around you? Year on year on year, their situation is becoming worse, isn't it? So, continuing, the seventh root cause, very, very important today, is electromagnetic radiation. Okay. The fields that are generated by our electronic instruments, the non-native electromagnetic fields, right? Our phones, our laptop, our lights, our Wi-Fi, our Bluetooth, and this and that and everything, right? It's necessary today, but there is too much. And even when we sleep, we keep the phone next to our heads, right? Very, very harmful, especially for your hormonal balance and for your mitochondria. And both of those are critical for good, healthy immune system function. Mitochondria is the root of this problem because it controls or determines how the immune system will behave. And there are thousands of them in each cell in your body. Okay. What are the reasons which can cause mitochondrial dysfunction? Overgrowth of bacteria, fungus, etc., infections, toxins, blue light, poor quality water, deficiency of various nutrients, including B vitamins and carnitine and CoQ10, etc., etc., right? Almost everybody has these factors in their body today. And I spoke about lack of structured water. Again, I'm coming back to that. Just drinking clean water is not enough. It is important, but it is not enough. Okay, there is much more to water than just cleanliness. And if the water is not structured, you may drink 2 liters or 3 liters, but it will not enter your cells. So you are still dehydrated at a cellular level. And there are so many diseases which are resulting from this chronic dehydration. We have worked with 4, 5-year-old children who drink 4, 5 liters of water every day. Can you imagine a 5-year-old drinking 4, 5 liters of water? But that's what they do. We change their water, and within 3, 4 days, the consumption drops to 1.5, 2 liters. How will that happen? Body stopped asking for more water because it is hydrated properly now, right? And last but not the least, the most important reason is chronic stress. Okay. What does stress have to do with autoimmunity? It has a lot to do. Okay. Why a lot to do? Because the simple thing is, when you create stress in your mind, it could be because of any reason, because somebody shouted at you, you had an argument at home, or your boss is upset with you, whatever be the reason, small, small things. There is no threat to your life, but your nervous system doesn't understand this. Tension, stress means nervous system thinks your life is in danger. Somebody, some animal is trying to kill you, right? And when the nervous system is thinking like that, it is not interested in creating health. It is not interested in digestion. It is not interested in hormonal imbalance. It just wants you to survive. And survival in that sense is not good for long-term health. Okay. So chronic uh, stress is a major, major player. And just a diagram to show you, image to show you that every organ, every part in your body changes its behavior depending on whether your nervous system is relaxed or it is stressed out. Okay. Every single organ in your body changes its functioning and behavior. When the nervous system is tensed up, the organ's health goes down. Okay. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen and hand over the session to Dr. Ruhi. I hope I was able to add some value to your life today. Some information, some understanding you got today that you did not have before. Once again, thank you for listening actively.
Thank you, Siddarth. So, now that you guys know about 10 very common root causes, Was anyone able to connect with those root causes? And you think that, okay, maybe in my case, there are at least three of them. I have this problem. I may have these as the contributing causes. So Sneha says yes. How about the others? Do you think bad diet, technology around us, poor gut health, heavy metal toxins, poor liver health? All right. So a lot of yes. So if these root causes, you're able to connect to these root causes, do you think just taking medications can help you recover from what you're going through right now? Can just painkillers or anti-inflammatory drugs, immunosuppressants, can they help fix autoimmunity? No, right? It cannot, because none of these approaches are actually addressing the root causes. It may help you get relief from some pain for some time, but they aren't really helping you to improve your quality of life. So now that we know that there are root causes of autoimmunity, it's high time that we stop treating each symptom separately. You cannot have 10, 15 medications for, so many signs and symptoms, and autoimmunity presents very strange symptoms sometimes. So you cannot be having a pill for every different symptom in your body. So we need to take a step back and look into what is really contributing to your sickness. And once you start doing that, you will see your quality of life will improve. You will be able to do all the things which you were not able to do once the diagnosis has happened. And if you look at the bigger picture, what does optimal health really need in our body? We have to provide the body everything that it needs to repair and regenerate. And this is all the raw material that you need for your cells to function and to repair. So this is good quality of air, structured water, all vitamins. You may be taking just, vitamin B12 and D and thinking you're providing your body all the vitamins. No, that's just, again, a very narrow approach. It needs all the minerals. Today, if you're expecting all the minerals to come from the food, it will not be enough, because the food itself is grown on soil which is not rich in minerals anymore. You need a lot of antioxidants because the body is constantly under a lot of oxidative stress. You need enough protein, enough healthy fats. Now, you may be eating a lot of meat, but the vegetarians may be eating a lot of dal, beans, and expecting that, you're taking enough protein. What you're eating is only one part of the process. How much of it is getting digested, and then how much of it is getting utilized by the cells. So that's the entire process. So you need to make sure your body is getting protein in the form that it can be easily utilized. And for those who have stopped taking healthy fats, thinking your lipid profile will go bad, well, it's high time you start including healthy fats. Fats in general has got a bad name, but then you need to understand which are bad fats and which are good fats for you. So I see a lot of questions on structured water. So structured water basically is water which has life, water which has this hexagonal structure back. Um, and a very simple way of making water structure, of course, you get ionizers and various things to do that. But a very simple way is also to keep the water in sun in a glass bottle for at least 3 hours. That helps in making the water structured. And above all, you also need the belief that you can recover. You do everything and you're still thinking that, okay, I will never get out of this health problem. Well, nothing will work for you. You have to have that positive belief and then take away everything that can be negative. And this has everything to do with you need to take out infections from the body. You need to take out, the toxins, the allergens. You have to work on your stress levels. If there has been an emotional trauma in the past, you need to work on it. You cannot continue living with it and expecting all your health problems also to be sorted. And many of you may have realized that, you were diagnosed with a health problem, an autoimmune condition, after a certain trauma in life. So until you get that sorted, your path to recovery will be very slow. So you need to work on those emotional trauma and take away every limiting belief which is preventing you to achieve what you want to, where you want to be. And with maximizing things, minimizing things, you also have to prioritize certain things. And that is about prioritizing an environment which is conducive for healing. And this will include good quality sleep. So you need to have certain sleep hygiene in place, good rest. You need to laugh often. You need to manage your stress. You cannot run completely away with stress. But yes, you need to have stress management techniques. So I have a question in the chat: how your team help us with stress management? So we provide our participants various techniques that they can incorporate in their daily life. And these are simple techniques which will help in stress management. You need to know which kind of exercise is good for you. Now, when you have autoimmunity, there's already a lot of inflammation. So you cannot do a lot of exercise because that can be counterproductive for your body. So you need to choose the right kind of exercise for yourself. And of course, a lot of breathing practices help. And of course, prioritize the relationships you want to keep. Just like how we want to take away everything that's toxic from the body, you may want to also then prioritize, relationships that you want to keep. And one thing that we recommend to all our participants is doing positive visualization, which basically mean imagining yourself in a state where you want to be. That positive visualization literally accelerates your process of recovery. So what is functional medicine now? It's not just another kind of medicine. It's an approach which looks at disease from the root cause perspective. So basically, any disease has come because of certain reasons. So functional medicine helps in identifying those root causes with the help of various interconnectedness. And once we start addressing the root cause, that's when you start reversing the problem, because now you are really hitting the problem from its, at its head, and it's bound to, show results, and you start on your recovery. So now in functional medicine, we work on all the aspect, and this has everything to do with uh, your nutrition, your detox mechanism, your gut health, um, your stress management, your emotional health, your physical activity. So everything possible that needs to be corrected and is possible by you, right? So everything that you can change within yourself, around yourself, to make it conducive for the recovery process. Now, to make this easier, we have put together a 12-week program where all the components that I just spoke about, we have put together in a way that it's easier to implement. Now, in the program, we work on identifying toxins and heavy metals, address them, identify chronic infections and address, because over a period of time, infections just become a part of your cell. And the dysregulated immune system is now trying to attack that infection, that pathogen, but it ends up damaging your cell because that pathogen has now become a part of your cell. So that's how the damage even worsens. Identify the nutritional deficiencies and correct it both with diet and using supplements. Address the inflammation in the body, work on the gut health, Work on the mitochondrial health, which is very, very important. It's one of the contributing factors for all autoimmune conditions, and especially if someone is struggling with chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, mitochondrial function is super important. Work on the detoxification pathways, work on stress management skills, strategies in place to protect your body from the non-native EMF, and of course, work on how you can hydrate your body better. So let me take you through what the structure of the program is like. First, we need to collect all your signs and symptoms so that we can understand what how the course of how the course of your disease history has been, what are your current signs and symptoms, if you had any other episodes of ill health in the past. So all that helps us to decide on what investigations we will need to start addressing your health problems. Based on that, we advise you the test. And once we have the test reports, then together with the test reports and the history, we do a root cause analysis. In the root cause analysis, we are then able to identify those root causes which is contributing to your health issues. And to address those root causes, we make a personalized treatment plan and a personalized nutrition plan. So based on everything analysis that we have done, and then also what kind of eating habits you have. Of course, we don't want to still feed you bad food, but then we help you replace certain staples from your existing diet so that you can switch on to a cleaner diet. So there is a personalized nutrition plan, and then there is a personalized treatment plan where we cover all the lifestyle changes and the personalized supplement plan. Now, the first consultation is to explain the analysis and then help you understand how you can start now implementing what has been recommended. And the second consultation will happen once you complete 2 months. And this is a follow-up consultation to understand how the progress has been, if any changes are needed, and the way forward. Now, in between this time, you have various touch points with the team. Now, the first touch point are the various education sessions, the live interactive sessions that we do. These interactive sessions are to empower our participants, because it's not just about giving a treatment plan and asking you to follow it for 3 months. We also want you to make sustainable changes, which you can do it lifetime. So here we have these interactive sessions where we cover different topics, which is important in the healing journey. For example, the first topic is on nutrition. The second topic is on the gut health. So once you understand the importance of these things and how they play a role in your disease and in good health, that's when you will be really able to make it a part of your life. So these interactive sessions are to give you that knowledge and also to interact with you. And then apart from that, there is sessions on meditation, sessions on how to manage your stress better. There are yoga sessions so that you can get started on, on your right physical activity that you should be doing with, with certain restrictions in your body. So we guide you on that. A very important aspect of the program is a 3-day guided detox process. Now, everybody would have heard, detox for good health, detox for autoimmunity, but it's very important that you do detox at the right time. You first need to prepare your body for detox and then do it. So here in the first month, we prepare your body for detox, and then in the second month, we have this 3-day guided detox process. And once you do that, that's when your recovery accelerates and you see very good results. Apart from that, you have the support from the team over WhatsApp, as this will involve various changes in your diet, in your lifestyle, etc. So you will have all that support that you would need to implement the plan. Now, these are some signs that your body is healing, right? Of course, this will vary based on what signs you have come to us with, but these are just some of the signs. Your energy level will increase, your gut health will be good, your sleep quality will improve, your periods will be better if they were affected, skin and hair is good. You don't feel puffy anymore. You wake up in the morning and you are excited for the day. Many of you may have lost that spark, in life. You feel dull all the time. You feel you're dragging your body. You will start feeling in tune with your body. And within the first month, we have seen our participants coming and telling us that we are able to see these changes. And we would like to share what one of our participant who was struggling with an autoimmune condition, what they what they experienced after completing the program of 3 months. Siddarth, can you just help sharing that? Siddarth? Siddharth, are you able to do that?
Sorry, uh, just give me a moment. You want to share this testimonial, right? Sound is.
Hello all, this is Aparna from Hyderabad. Few months back I've been diagnosed with MCDD, which is called multiple connective tissue disorder. It's an autoimmune condition where multiple autoimmune disorders have been attacking my immune system at the same time. I had RA, rheumatoid arthritis, then I had Jordan syndrome, which had affected my eyes, and I had many other conditions also. I mean, my symptoms were I used to wake up with pain, and especially in my left wrist and my thumb joints. I used to wake up with pain every day in the morning, and my eyesight started to, become very blurry. And then I used to have this brain fog, very, very, very lethargic, and no mood to do anything, or low in energy all the time. But one day I came across Hormone Reset over Instagram and I contacted them. I took over the plan, very sustainable plan. I could make over the changes. I think within almost 3 weeks, I was able to adapt to the plan very easily. And very good supplements which started to show impact very quickly. My hair fall started to reduce. My acne marks have gone. My skin started to feel much better. And then I started to have a burst of energy all throughout the day. And today, especially today, now being the monsoon season, I can wake up without pain. Very, very mild and very little pain in the smaller joints that I have. But otherwise, I feel very, very good and happy after taking the plan from Hormone Reset.
That was Aparna, and she was diagnosed with 4 autoimmune condition. And that was a change she could share after 3 months of the program. So we'll open for questions, and yes, that's the program, and the program cost is 16,000 for participants based in India. And we have a similar program for men as well. So, all right, let's open for questions. I hope those who had questions have raised your hand.
We've also launched a poll. It's just one question, so please answer it. It will just take you 5 seconds. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So there were a couple of questions in the chat asking if we have to leave our regular medicines if we get onto this program. So we will not ask you to stop your medications when you start the program. And slowly, when you start seeing your body responding to the treatment, you will be able to wean off your medications. Now, second question someone asked was, do I have to give up non-veg food? Now, you don't have to give up on non-veg food. Uh, if your gut health is very bad, you will first need to work on fixing your gut health so that you can digest that non-vegetarian food. So that's important. Right, let's see. All right.
Mr. Om has raised his hand in the chat saying, I want to ask a question. So, sir, if you're there, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
The reason behind rheumatoid arthritis, I still don't know because I never had genetic history. I'm taking good diets from beginning. Then why? What are the main cause?
Om, were you there during the workshop? Did you attend the workshop?
Yes, yes, yes. There is so many other reasons also, and I just want to ask. I do my ANA profile.
Yeah.
My anti-CCP counting is getting low, 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 low. Which is firstly is near about 500. Now the count is 200, which is
Okay.
good. But after I am doing ANA 18 blot, my DFS 70 is getting highly strong positive. Then I am rheumatoid disease positive or not, because doctor told me ki DF70 is good sign also, which is in strongly positive in sometimes in normal individuals also.
How are you clinically? Let's forget the markers. How do you feel in terms?
Clinically, I am on tocinib 5-BD, to JAK inhibitor, and no pain, only in morning, uh, very little pain. The scale is 1, and I had a neck pain, neck stiffness whole day. After doing exercise and some movements, they getting normal. Hmm? And fatigue. The more symptom is fatigue. Fatigue means alas.
Yes, yeah,
हाँ,
आलस, laziness, whatever
हाँ,
way you call it, right?
हाँ,
So
if I ये मैं
you are
उठ गई और काम करने
yes,
लगी तो मैं कर सकती हूँ, but basically I
basically,
don't want to do.
yeah. So you are on immunosuppressants, right? And
Yes,
somehow
yes.
your symptoms are kind of you suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you are trying to manage your markers of ANA, ACCP. It will not,
Okay, okay,
it will never happen.
okay.
But not doing anything to address why the autoimmunity is there in your body.
Uh, According to my experience, there is a one reason. I had a breast abscess which is undiagnosed. I routinely go for mammography, then I know to kids breast abscess, then I go to operative. My symptoms reduce drastically. When
Hmm.
I diagnosed with breast abscess, I am unable to walk, unable to wake up. Then I go to RA positive, anti-CCP, all the things. But I when I am undergoes operative, after that my symptoms are very less. But rheumatologist put me on tocinab. I don't know ki after operative I get relief or due to tocinab I got relief.
You can stop your medication and you will understand that. That will be pretty clear.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
that's
So,
one simple thing.
so now, I mean, your symptoms are suppressed because of that, right? And
Okay,
as I said, you will never be able to address your ACCP, ANA, all that with
okay,
these medicines. If you want to kind of, completely get rid of your symptoms and without being on medications, you will have to start working on it. And we spoke about 10 root causes today.
okay, okay. I want to, if I join your hormone, I
Genetic,
want to know, okay, I want to know that if I join your hormone reset program, then my tocinib is stop.
yes, it will start reducing. The dose will start reducing if you completely do
Huh.
what we recommend for you.
Okay, okay. Means without any medications, I will be okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
We
Thank
will
you.
not ask you to stop when you start the treatment because
Okay,
it
okay.
first has to work on your body, right? Your body has to respond.
Okay, okay. I just diagnosed. I diagnosed RA before 3 months only.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The earlier you intervene, the better it is.
Okay, okay. I will join that. Thank
All right. Thank you.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, Panni Krishnan ji has raised her hand. Okay, interesting question for you, Dr. Ruhi. What kind of functional medicine do you give? Is it English or Ayurvedic? Please
Shubham
answer.
Murli, did you attend the workshop? So I had specifically answered this question that functional medicine is not just another medicine. It's not another blend of herbs or something. Functional medicine is an approach. It's like, um, it's an approach which helps us to identify the problem. Okay. Now, once we know what the problem is, we use various tools. We use diet, we use lifestyle changes, we use certain supplements, uh, we use certain techniques. So, various tools are used to address the root causes. Functional medicine helps in identifying the root cause of the problem. So, Satyam, yes, it's a natural process. We are not using drugs in this process. Sanjana is asking, my husband would like to join. Could any of, yeah, I think the team has shared the payment link, Sanjana. You can check in the chat.
Darshan ji, you have unmuted yourself. Do you want to ask a question? Yeah, I guess not.
Okay.
Karunambika has raised her hand. You can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
All right. So there's a question by Mr. Ashok. My ANA is moderate positive, but no symptoms. What should I do? So, Mr. Ashok, if your ANA is moderate positive, it's already a sign that autoimmunity has started in your body. Now, many people do not show immediate symptoms of autoimmunity, right? It's good if you have already seen in your reports, but you don't have any obvious symptoms. You should start working on correcting that autoimmunity. Why your ANA is positive? You should not be waiting for symptoms to appear. You need to start taking actions now. Okay, Simil, 3 days detox process happens where? Okay, so it happens online. Each one of you, does this 3 day detox in your home only, and we will guide you with everything that you will need for the detox. We will have sessions on all the 3 days to guide you. It's like a community process, so there are other participants also doing it, and it's quite an exciting, interesting process. You don't have to come anywhere. ANA means anti-nuclear antibodies. Okay. So IBS is gut issue or nervous system issue. What do you think, Satyam? What is IBS? What is IBS doing to you? So IBS is an inflammatory condition. It's starting off in the gut, and then it starts affecting your nervous system. And usually people who are struggling with IBS, they're often told, because you will do endoscopy and everything, you'll not find anything. And then it is said, this problem is just in your head. So it's a gut issue.
There's an interesting question. I think 2 or 3 people have asked about ANA. A person who has ANA and is showing no symptoms. So please understand that ANA is considered to be an early marker Okay, and it is non-specific. So if your ANA is high, in a starting from maybe 2-3 years or maybe a little longer, depending on various factors, you will you are very highly likely to get diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. So the process of autoimmunity has started. Once the damage is big enough for you to see symptoms, you will have a diagnosis. So that is what ANA being positive means. So Karunambika, you can unmute yourself and ask, please. Ask your question.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so Karnamika is my mom, her son Deepu. Two questions, one for her, one for me. So my mom is having diabetes, and do you have any protocol for diabetes?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, we do. We have been able to help, I don't know, I mean, hundreds of people reverse diabetes.
Okay.
Yes.
Diabetes. Okay. Second question is for me. So I had posted a question earlier. So do you have any protocol for gout and uric acid?
We definitely do. See, please understand once again why is gout happening or why is uric acid high. Okay, there are multiple reasons. I will just talk about the main two or three. Okay. There are certain bacteria, if they overgrow, bacteria and fungus, if they overgrow, uric acid will increase in the body. Okay. Uric acid can also be increased by the body if there is too much of oxidative stress. It is an antioxidant. Okay. The third, and the most important and the most common reason is higher level of insulin in the body. Okay. What does higher level of insulin mean? When I say insulin, most people think of sugar. No, I'm not talking about blood sugar. I'm talking about the hormone insulin, which determines how your blood sugar management will happen, whether it will happen efficiently or inefficiently. Okay. If your insulin is high, the chances of you having high uric acid are very, very high. So apart from these two or three, there are other reasons as well. So when we work with anybody, if you have understood all the explanation we have done, we look at them as an individual. We look at their history, their symptoms, their blood reports, and other test markers, which help us to understand what are the reasons why this person is having this problem. Okay, and based on that, we create a treatment plan. So gout and uric acid are not difficult things to reverse.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Neeraj, let's understand your question. So it's you are HLA-B27 positive, and you're suffering from backache, and you've been diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. Your CRP and ESR are in normal range now, and your blood report is good. Okay, so now again, you also mentioned that you're on some medications. So I'm assuming that again you are on certain immunosuppressants or certain modulators. So just checking CRP, ESR may not be enough for you to understand how the disease is progressing in your body. Understand the complete picture, look at your nutrients, look at your toxins, look at your gut health, look at the infection, so that you are able to, understand why you are still experiencing pain here and there, right? And then you will also be able to get rid of the medications that you are taking. Many of you have asked, does it work for multiple sclerosis? Does it work for this particular ANA positive? Doesn't matter which ANA is positive. Autoimmunity is there, right? And we again, anybody who comes to, let's say, for MS to us or Hashimoto, the approach will not be disease focused. The approach will be individual focused, right? We will focus on everything inside the body, not just your thyroid, not just your nervous system. It will be the whole body, and we're looking at what is contributing to ill health. Okay, so doesn't matter what disease is there, we are working on the contributing factors. So Meeta Badlani is asking, can I just stop taking all the medications when I join the program? No, that's not what we said, that you stop everything and join. You will have to work on your health first. That's when you will be start able to reduce the dosage of the medications that you're taking. You first have to allow your body to respond, allow your body to heal. That's when you stop taking the medications that you have been advised.
Justina, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hello, doctor. I was admitted in hospital in March this year for loose motion, vomiting, and fever for 3 days. I got discharged, and then after 2 3 days, I got a sciatic nerve inflammation. And the next day, I got admitted. By the time there was swelling in on both my knees and both my feet and right shoulder. So doctors diagnosed that it is reactive arthritis, and later on I did a this colonoscopy, and in that one it was showing that active proctocolitis is there, and they were having a doubt that there is the chance of IBD, but it is not confirmed properly. So at the moment I am on steroids. First it was given me to me as injections, and then right now on tablets, and the dosage is lowering. Next month I have to meet the doctor again, and my calprotectin level is still high. So after 1 month, when I do the test, I will come to know whether it has reduced or not.
Justina,
So,
what is your question?
so if I join for the program, I don't know whether it is an autoimmune disease or it is something else. I'm not sure about it. I'm just very new. It's the first time it's happening like this to me.
See, does it really matter whether it's an autoimmune disease or not?
No, I have to be healthy and fit and fine. That's more
Correct.
important.
Correct. So, whatever is the disease dynamic happening in the body, you are seeing that joints and other parts of the body are getting damaged, inflamed, and pain, etc.,
Yeah,
is happening. Correct. The
yeah,
only way you are able to handle the pain right now is with strong painkillers and anti-inflammatories, etc. Right?
yeah, yeah.
And so the important thing to focus on is the why. Why is this happening? Right?
Okay,
What is not so important? What kind of disease it is? Is it autoimmune or not? You have
okay.
a disease dynamic going on in the body, right? Damage is happening.
Yeah,
Whether it is immune system or some other process that's happening, that is a matter of, kind of hair splitting, if I can, use that expression. What is important is we understand why is this happening and how do we reverse it, right?
okay. Oh, yeah.
That is your interest, isn't it? You want to be healthy.
Yes.
So out of the 10 root causes that I explained, what are the root causes applicable to me as an individual and how do I start reversing those?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that we
You
would
can
love to
work.
help you with. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Whether
Okay.
it is autoimmune or simple immune or non-immune, those things don't matter, right? That is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
nomenclature.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we'll take one last question.
So a couple of people have registered. I think Deepika and Sanjana have registered. Thank you, Deepika and Sanjana, and we look forward to working with you, helping you recover your health. Sneh has been putting some questions. She's put a question about rheumatoid arthritis, and she also said earlier that she has gallbladder stones. And I think she also posted in a chat that her problem started with carpal tunnel syndrome because she works on the laptop too much. Uh, Sneh, let me ask you this question. How many people do you know who work on the laptop too much? Let's say if you're in the IT industry, you're working on the laptop, but no, you are not the only one. Thousands of people in your office are working on the laptop too much, right? How many of them are developing carpal tunnel syndrome? In other words, there is a different reason why you developed carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, there was already some inflammatory dynamic which was going on, and because there was already pre-existing inflammation, Now, when you use the joints and tendons and ligaments too much, there will be friction because of the inflammation, and further inflammation will happen, and then you will get the diagnosis of carpal tunnel syndrome, right? This is the same process that's happening that I've been trying to explain, that do not miss the bottom of the iceberg for the small tip that is showing at the top. No problem is happening in a localized manner in the body. It is always connected to something deeper. I spoke in detail about gallbladder stones. We have managed to get many people get rid of gallstones. They have it right now. They work with us for 3 months or 5 months, 6 months. They go back and do ultrasound. There is no gallbladder stone to be found. Okay. And also, please remember, when doctors tell you that gallbladder can be removed, I'm telling you, the kind of problems you will start getting after your gallbladder is removed, you can't even believe right now. That is how important the gallbladder is. It is not a useless part of your body. It has very important functions. So please don't do that to yourself. Okay. And arthritis, etc. We have spoken, a lot in detail. We've spoken. There's maybe many other people who have asked the question, so I assume that is already answered for you as well. Yeah. So one last question, Dr. Ruhi.
I think you've taken the question. We can wrap up now. So our team has shared contact. Dr. Angel and Vanita have shared their contact, so you can connect with them if any one of you has questions. And Tanisha has also shared the link for the community, so you can stay in touch with us. And if you've not answered the poll, please do, so that we know if you want us to connect with you. And we hope you found the workshop useful, and it gave you a different perspective to start working on your health problems rather than accepting it that's what it will be for life. It doesn't matter how long the history of your condition, your health problem has been, you can always start today. So with that, we will wrap up today's session, and thank you all of you for attending the workshop. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste and good night.